Wow, that was so funny. This is a homework. Okay, so first step is net income equals this minus this minus this. Hey. Secondly, okay, so first of all, we're doing a one statement format. Comprehensive income, unrealized holding gain, $16,000. That was funny, everybody. So what do they call it? They do other comprehensive income, unrealized holding gain. Oh yeah, sure, that's what they do. Okay, so they have net sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit. Of course. Yes, they did the whole thing. They didn't just do. Net income is $165,900. Other comprehensive income, $16,000. Comprehensive income, $181,900. Multiple step. You just do this, and then you go to a next statement. You have net income, other comprehensive, and then income. So this statement, net income is at the bottom of the statement. It's very clear to see. In this statement, we have net income. Start with net income, then do comprehensive income, and then you have comprehensive income. I hate myself. That was simple. That was a simple question. Why do I even need to practice that? Why? Like, what was the point of me doing that question? Gosh. Do I need to practice number 5? Net income, net dividends declared. Oh, okay, I think I need to do this question. Oh my gosh. Statement of retained earnings. Dude, I don't think we ever even did this question or this type of question in class. A statement of retained earnings? Oh. You know, I think I might have to memorize how to do how to write this statement, because it's not that straightforward. So I think I might actually take a screenshot. Oh my gosh. The solution looks pretty simple, but what is this? What Stillrick report is the same thing. A restriction does not affect total retained earnings. It merely labels part of the retained earnings as being unavailable for dividend distribution. We have retained earnings, appropriated and unappropriated, total. Good job, buddy. So, like, statement of retained earnings, which is not the same thing as a statement of stockholders' equity. Statement of retained earnings. Because a statement of retained earnings only talks about one specific part of the stockholders' equity, which is retained earnings. We have retained earnings as reported. Retained earnings January 1 as reported. Correction for depreciation error. Cumulative decrease in income from change in inventory methods. Retained earnings January 1 as adjusted. Add net income less dividends declared. Final retained earnings December 31st. It seems so weird to do this. Like, what if this isn't even on the test? It's so weird. Like, you know what's funny about our professor? Somebody asked him a question about, like, our online homework or something. And he's like, and he said, I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm not the one to ask about that. I don't look at the online. I don't look at all the online homework at all. Wait, what? You're the professor for our class. You should kind of know what we're doing for our homework assignments. Like, dude, this, I don't know, like, is the test... I think he said in class that he manually picks the questions for the test. But, like, does he manually choose which questions to do for these assessments? Because we didn't do this stuff in class. This type of question, we did not do that in class. Did we? Did we do a statement of retained earnings? I don't think so. So, like, am I even supposed to study this part? Dude, I was going to literally skip this part. I probably would have completely failed if I had gotten this. If I had gotten this type of question on the test last Monday, I might have failed it because it's not something I've done very much. I didn't do our statement of retained earnings in financial accounting, and yes, I did it in this assessment, but I probably would have forgotten how to do it. But anyways, that was such a long ramble. The entire point of that is that I'm going to take a screenshot of this so I kind of remember, and then I'm going to have to kind of study the screenshot, and so hopefully I can remember how to do it if that type of question comes up. But of course, I can't have it all on the screen at the same time because it's a stupid, idiotic, stupid crap. So I have to do this. And it'll work. Dang, please, just work. Did that work? Yes, I think it's working. It's very tiny text now, but at least I have it all on the screen. Actually, you don't need it to be that big. We just need... Here's a statement of retained earnings. So 90%, no, 80% should be fine because we just need this much stuff here. That was funny, everybody. I really wish our professor gave us a more detailed study guide for our test, because I feel like half the stuff I'm studying isn't going to be on the test. This thing right here, I have no idea if it's going to be on the test or not. Statement of retained earnings. Here we go. So there's that. So I'll probably study that later. But for now, we'll just do, I guess I'll just look at it. I don't know. So I'll try to do the question on my own, I guess. What? You know what's interesting? Like, the professor told us we should have a dual monitor for our test, which implies that he wants us to do our questions on the Excel spreadsheet, right? He probably wants us to answer. You know what's? I wonder if our test is going to be very similar to this stuff here, where I don't, because this wouldn't even require. I mean, yes, if you were using Excel to do the math, yes, you would need a dual monitor. But what's faster, using Excel and switching between windows every 2 seconds, or writing stuff down on paper and then using your phone calculator? I think it's still faster to do it this way with the Excel, because the Excel stuff, you can type all the numbers in much more quickly than if you're typing on a calculator and if you're writing it down on paper. And all the calculations are just automatic. That was funny. Okay. That was funny. So, what we're trying to do is do our statement of retained earnings for 2017. What we need to do, apparently, is calculate the beginning of year. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Retained earnings, January 1 as reported. Correction for depreciation error. No, I need to figure it out myself, not just copy what it has written. We need the retained earnings as reported on January 1st. So retained earnings, they don't give you the actual amount of retained earnings. I'd have to read through the whole question to tell you that. Like, that's why there better not be too many questions on the test. It would take me forever to read through this whole thing and try to figure out, did they give you the retained earnings, or did they not give you it, so therefore you have to calculate it using this information. You have to calculate it using this information, so therefore you must do income, subtract dividends, and then that will be the answer for that one. So 20,000, 130,000. $228,000. We'll subtract 51,000. So equals the sum of those. So that will be retained earnings as reported. Right? Please tell me that's right. Yes, that's correct. And then apparently correct for errors or something. We have this error. We have a change in accounting method. And we have income and we have declared dividends. So there are two corrections to make. One, they have a depreciation error. So correction for depreciation error. How to calculate the error? 38,000. So you subtract 38,000. Pretty simple. Negative 38,000. Then the second thing is that they changed accounting method. Change in, what do they call it anyways? Cumulative decrease in income from change in inventory methods and whatever. Change in accounting method. Oh, man. So, what do we have here? So, it would have been $20,000 lower than originally reported. That means you must subtract 20,000, right? Please tell me that's right. What? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. How did that happen? How is it 12,000 instead of 20,000? You've got to be kidding me. I just realized I did everything wrong. Oh my goodness. You have to apply a tax rate to every single adjustment. Okay. God. 40%. All right. 40%. So we'll just do 60% of that and 60% of that. So equals negative 0.6 times 38,000 equals negative 0.6 times 20,000. So that's the right numbers now, 28,800 and 12,000. So that's it. Retained earnings January 1 as adjusted or something like that equals sum. So 292,200. Next, what's the next thing? So in a retained earnings statement, you have your reported January 1 earnings, your adjusted January 1 earnings, and then you probably do net income. You add net income. And you less dividends or something like that declared. So your net income, what is your net income? Now you have to calculate the expense. So 560 times 60%. So equals 0.6 times 560,000 equals, do you do a tax on the dividends? Do you do a tax on the dividends? Oh. No. Oh my gosh. So 336,000. The dividends do not have the tax rate applied. My brain is not comprehending this. Why do I have to say that so many times this semester? This is not what I usually have to say to myself. why the dividends are not going to be subtracting a tax. Yes, here's why. Because they gave you income before income tax expense. When you pay out a dividend, you don't have to automatically subtract a tax from the dividend. I guess. It is taxed, but it's not taxed to the company that distributes the dividend. You don't declare a dividend and then subtract the tax from the dividend. You just declare the dividend and then distribute the dividend, and then those people are individually taxed on those individual dividends that they receive. Hate myself. So therefore, you have retained earnings on December 31st. Right? Yep. So equals this plus this minus this. And there you go, 541, 200, and we have done that question. Well, almost. That's most of the question. Now, what else is there? The second part is like, what if they restricted retained earnings in the amount of this? They would still present a total retained earnings amount of the same amount as before. The only thing that would change is that they would say retained earnings, appropriated and unappropriated total equals the same as before. Hate myself. I'm done studying chapter 4. Finally. Man. So that's chapter 4 assessment stuff. Look at all that stuff. Now we go to chapter 7, assessments. So we have completely finished looking through chapter 4 assessment. That's interesting. So we will now go to chapter 7. We are halfway done with what we need to do. We are halfway done. And I've only been recording for 1.5 hours. So I just love rushing through these assignments. Or rushing through this studying session. Oh, come on. What? Okay, I think I can get to it. All I have to do is this. Weirdly enough, chapter 4 was unlocked, but not chapter 7? What? Why is that? Where's the assessments? Okay, chapter 7. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Is it the end? Look at all these resources. Where do I find this? Is it even listed here? It should be. Professor, I think that's what the guy was asking in class. He was asking, can we look at our, can you unlock our old assignments so we can use them to study? Well, it looks like this one is locked for some reason. I don't know why. I can't even find it in this list of stuff here. Isn't there an assessment? Chapter 7 assessment. What? It should be here. There's a bunch of practice questions, but that's not the same thing. How do I get to the assessment? How? I thought that I would be able to do this. I was able to do it with Chapter 4, but I can't do it with Chapter 7. How does that work? Chapter 4 assessment and Chapter 7 assessment. One of them is closed and one of them isn't. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good at all. I'd really like to study that. You would think it would be on here. It would be on one of these resources. Why isn't it in this? Why isn't it in here? Crossword puzzle? Are you serious? Why do they have crossword puzzles? That is such a useless way to study a chapter. You're literally just. Well, I guess it's a way to practice definitions, but. Kind of a waste. We have exercises. Why is there no assessment? Don't you just love getting those notifications? They're useless, by the way. Stop getting... Well, I'm continuing to screw myself over here, which is very fun. But I'm not going to study anymore. If I can't access that assignment, I'm not even going to bother studying it. So, well, the only other alternative would be study the other stuff again, like to study the classroom questions again, or study additional things or something. I'm going to email myself this so I can put it on my phone. Do I really need it to be on my phone? No, because I'm not. I had that stuff on my phone because I was going to study it in the classroom for a few minutes before the test. But now that I don't have to go to class, I don't need it on my phone at all. I can just have these right here, and I'll just study them tomorrow morning before the test. What a waste. What's a waste?